How to apply makeup on skin with acne. The thing about this is that we automatically assume that people with acneic skin have oily skin, but sometimes they're dry, or sometimes they have normal to combination skin with acne. Some of the reasons for acne are hormonal, which you'll see with people who suffer from acne on the sides of the face. So when you meet your client, don't just automatically assume that they are oily. In your consultation, you will find out what kind of skin they have as well as the acne, and you're gonna choose your products accordingly. So you're not gonna just automatically pick all these mattifying products to reduce oil when they're actually dry. You're going to pick the products that are right for them and then move forward with the proper ways to cover the acne. Here are some of the products that we are going to use for how to apply makeup to skin with acne. We have our green tinted primer. We have our moisturizer. We have our green tinted color corrector. We have our concealer. We have our foundation mixture. This is going to be our cream eyeshadow. These are our lip and eye primers and a neutral sheer powder for setting. So we'll begin by applying all the foundation and the primers and moisturizers with a flat foundation brush. Going into each blemish with a very small flat cream brush, setting them with powder with a small 777 brush, which is like a fluff eyeshadow brush, stippling on all of our foundation with a stipple foundation brush, putting on all of our bronzer, contour, and blush with a tiny fluff brush. This is our eyeshadow. These are our makeup sponges, a mini one for the small blemishes. This will be our lip color, our liner, clear brow gel, and these are some of the products that we'll be using for how to apply makeup on skin with acne. This is my client, Michelle. Michelle suffers from very dry skin with acne. She does have oil in the T-zone, but other than that, it's very dry. So I go in quickly and do a quick cleanup to absorb any excess oil in the T-zone. Then I use a very hydrating toner. This is rose water. Rose water helps to balance the pH of the skin as well as hydrates, and it's refreshing and it smells amazing. Then I go in with an oil-free hydrating moisturizer, and I evenly spread it throughout the face. After, I will take my green tinted primer and set, you can really see how green that is, to offset any redness that she may have. Some people only have redness on their blemishes. Others will have redness throughout the skin. So always be mindful. You can use different primers for different areas and different needs of the face. So just a light spread. You can already see how that's neutralizing the red underneath her skin. After I've done that, I'm going to go in and spot treat each blemish with a neutralizing green concealer, just right on to each area of redness. The formula for covering acne is simple. It's tedious when we're going, covering each one, but you just get each one and it's gonna take a little bit of time, but it's worth it in the end. So you just keep moving throughout the face. Turn your head. Thank you. And try to get right on top, not going too farther out with the correcting concealer. Just onto all of the major spots. You want to treat each one as its own entity, blending them all out. Softly so that you're not wiping off the color, but so that they're diffused. The green concealer is diffused. And I'm also going to go ahead and get a little bit under the nose. For most people, there's a redness underneath the nose, just a little bit onto the nostrils. So I'm going to continue on with my mini beauty blender, and I'm going to spot treat every single one. And you could build the product. You don't have to put as much as I did. You could start out lighter. So just going in really soft, because I don't want to wipe off any of the color. I just want to blend those edges out, but while maintaining the green tone over the red, which they cancel each other out. And you're already starting to see each of these blemishes relax. They're not as red, they're not as angry, they've toned down. Turn your head. And you just keep moving throughout the face, each one. And now we will move in with a concealer that is more along the lines of her color. Just going right back over them. And here you can make your marks like a little wider. So if this one, for example, here's the dot, you could go over it almost like you're covering the whole thing, like a little blanket of a concealer that matches her skin more accurately. Just making them a little wider in circumference around the green. But you want to go soft because you don't want to blend the green color corrector with your regular concealer. You want it to layer on top of it. I've held up my foundations to Michelle's face to see which ones, and these are the ones I've chosen. This one is a more pink base, this one is a little bit more yellow, and I wanted to add just a tint of yellow so that we could help to neutralize some more of the red. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to take my stipple foundation brush and I'm going to stipple on the foundation. Why you do it in this motion with skin with acne is that it can be textured from scarring. So when you pop it on like this, you help to get into every nook and cranny, and then it's not wiping off all of the makeup that you just put on your client. And it's okay, especially for the areas with the acne, if your makeup is a little bit lighter, because throughout the day what's going to happen is it's going to oxidize and it's going to get darker. And also you're going to be going in with your bronzers and your contour anyways. So here we go. And now we're going to start to buff it out. But I like to use a sponge infused with the rose water so it's moistened, and lightly tap onto the makeup so that each little tap is dispersing the color in an even tone without wiping off all of the work that we had done on the acne. Doesn't matter. Get into all the crevices. So after I have put on her full face, I'm still going to go back in with a cream. The cream concealer again, and I'm going to just anything that fell out of place, I'm going to spot it back throughout the face. Look up. Just your eyes? So like that? Yeah, perfect. See how far away from the actual blemish I am? I'm blending out these edges. So after we have a pristine base, we can move forward with our contour and our highlight. Look up for me, just your eyes, perfect. So I'm gonna get in there with her concealer. Just about one shade lighter. Get pretty close up to the eyes. Usually I do the eye makeup first, but because the focus is on the skin, I wanted to immediately jump right in and give her a very clear palette to begin with. So just gonna get in there. You're going to want to use a primer. If you notice that your client's eyelids are oily, a primer is always beneficial, or a cream gel shadow, like the Color Tattoo brands. So that the colors are gonna adhere to the eyelids and last for her entire party or wherever she's going. Keep your eyes closed. Thanks. Just relax. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'll go in with her contour, and I'm gonna use a powder contour as opposed to a cream. And I'm going to use a matte tone. I'm just gonna stipple again. This is gonna help to set our makeup. So just down the hollows of the cheek, but blend it out, and I'm still stippling. I'm gonna try not to wipe off our hard work that we did, and then I'm gonna blend it up and into the concealer so that it's not white to the dark. Other side, turn to me, this way, yeah, perfect. Again, stippling. And after I feel like it's set with the powder, I can start to move it a little bit more, but I still want to keep this stipple motion. Look up, just the eyes, perfect. Just gonna blend it a little bit. After I've used all the product down here, I wanna use any residual up in here so that it blends. It's still lighter here, but going to darker. The jawline. So Michelle has a very square face. I just wanna kind of give it a little bit more of a softer jaw. So bring that contour just slightly up like this. But I don't want it to be a line. I don't want to be able to see that contour. I just want to see the effects of the contour, not the contour itself. And now up on the forehead. Not so much here. See how it goes inward slightly? I want this to be a little more balanced. So I'm just gonna lightly, just so that it all has the same color tone throughout the face, a light veil of color. So I'm moving on to blush. I'm not gonna use a shimmer. I want to use a light, creamy, buttery peach tone because she already has a natural pink to her, so I don't wanna go in with any more pink. But I do wanna give her a little bit of life. So after the iris and above the nose, just right here, but I don't wanna have that Raggedy Ann doll look, so I have to blend it out ever so slightly off in this direction. Want to keep this area clear. We worked so hard to get any of the red out in this area. We don't want to add any more pigment to that spot. And a little bit on the forehead to match it out. I'm going to go in with a little bit more foundation right here where I accidentally got some bronzer. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna set her makeup. And my favorite way to set is with my powder puffs. I don't like to use a brush. I like to get in there and spot treat on the T-zone area because I don't want this to be so matte. I just want to help absorb any of the oil in the T-zone. This is a neutral setting powder. And I can move that color the way that I want, just down the center. What I like about this powder is it has a natural sheen to it. Next, I'm going to move into her eye makeup, and we're going to curl the lashes. And then I'm gonna move in with a cream shadow, but one that is oil-free and has super staying power. Michelle has piercing light green eyes. They're almost like a Alaskan water teal. So I'm gonna use a very soft matte taupe. And I'm gonna put it at the base and bring it up. So it's graduated. It's darker at the lash line and then gets lighter as we move up. Open your eyes. Okay. Yeah, and then now look up, just your eyes. And I'm gonna put a little bit, look up, underneath. And this will help to neutralize the pink that's in her waterline. And this is a very simple makeup because once you've got that cream shadow on, it's not going to take too much more to add just a little bit of drama off to the sides and into the orbital bone. And this is a great transition color because it's a soft, creamy brown, just to help set the makeup and to contour the eye. Michelle has great eyebrows. There really doesn't need to be much going on with them. Just a little bit of brow gel to hold them into place. And for the eyeliner, I'm going to use, close your eyes, a nice chocolatey brown directly into the lash line. I'm just depositing color. I'm not trying to make a wing. I'm not trying to make a cat eye. I'm just trying to deposit color into the lash line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat angle brush and blend it all together so that a smoky eye or a smudged eyeliner is great when the eyelids are oily. So you've already smudged it in a controlled way, and it shouldn't smudge any more than what I have done to it. And I keep it minimal because I don't want this to, at the end of the day, to be all over the place. So I keep it as close to the lash line as possible. Open the eye. See how we've just very softly, look up. I'm gonna just smudge a little bit into the lash line on the bottom. Stay looking up. Close your eyes. When a client is uncomfortable with the pencil being in her eye, you can have them close their eye and press up so that the pencil gets into the lash line. And if it makes too much of a mess, you could just go in after and try to clean it, spot clean it. Open, look up. See, like that. Now I'm just gonna wipe it off. And I'm gonna quickly smudge into the lash line, which is all right. Since it's not a defined eyeliner look, it's okay. Then I could just go in afterwards and just spruce it with my concealer, look up. And the same thing with your concealer. See her eye, it's hard to keep it open, so you just do it while their eye is closed to the best that you can. Just a little bit of highlighter on the brow bone with a light shimmery tone and into the tear duct just to soften that area. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go in just in these couple of little spots. Just to really bring them home, make sure that they're staying covered. Next, I'm just gonna go ahead and top it off, relax, and look at my hand. So stay there. Put on a little bit of mascara. Great eyelashes, amazing eyelashes. Because we know she has issues with the bottom eye, I'm gonna stay here and get the bottom lashes. And this is a waterproof. Whenever you're dealing with oily eyelids, you want to get waterproof. You can even layer. You could layer regular mascara and then layer waterproof right over it. Okay, now we'll move on to the lips. So that means starting with a lip primer. So I'll start with a soft lip primer, and I try to use as little product as I possibly can. Open your mouth just a little bit. Perfect. I want it to be a glaze over the lip. I don't want it to be a buildup of lip primer so that it mixes with my lip products. And I'm even gonna go just slightly outside the edges of the lip where there might be any type of oil so that the lip color itself won't bleed. Then I'm gonna take a small powder brush, a little eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna set it with my setting powder. And again, stipple, stipple, stipple. Now I can go in with a nice dusty rose okay. Open your mouth. So I'm just gonna line the outer edges of her lip and then just a slight contour. So making a little triangle on this side, a little triangle like just a mini one on this side. So now I'm gonna go in with the lip color, which is just a very soft, open your mouth. Creamy, peachy, pinky. Want to avoid anything too red or too pink to offset any of the redness in the face. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tissue and I'm going to blot any excess oil around the mouth. And I'm going to take my powder on this brush so that it's a soft, just a little bit more lip liner on this side. And because I'm a blush fanatic and I never think there's enough, I'm gonna top her off with another little hit of blush. And this blush is a matte powder. So these are some techniques on how to apply makeup on skin with acne.